My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Evan Almighty. And this movie got terrible reviews. It has a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. Nobody ever talks about it, so my expectations were real low for this movie. But you know what? I actually don't think this movie is bad. Let's begin talking about the cast, and you've got Steve Carell here, who just has a very unique presence to him. I think he carries this movie incredibly well, and he does everything the movie needs him to perfectly. Then you've got Morgan Freeman, who is once again perfectly cast. His voice and his screen presence just demand your attention, and I love it whenever he shows up. You've also got Lauren Graham, who I guess does a pretty decent job, and then you've got Johnny Simmons, Graham Phillips, and Jimmy Bennett as the kids. None of them stand out, but none of them are bad. And the rest of the cast is actually pretty stacked. Like, listen to these names: John Goodman, Wanda Sykes, John Michael Haggins, Jonah Hill, Molly Shannon, Ed Helms, Dean Norris. Like, that's crazy. Like, the cast to this movie is really solid, and all of them did a perfectly fine job. My issue with this movie is the story. Let's take Bruce Almighty, for example, a story about this selfish asshole who's given incredible abilities, and through this experience, he is taught a valuable lesson. Okay, works perfectly. This movie is about this guy who doesn't spend as much time with his family as he should, who is given a task to do, and then literally is made to look like a guy in history who was given the same task, and then he kinda learns a lesson by the end. It's just not as good. It's not as cohesive as I would like it to be. The narrative about the arc and the narrative about the political side doesn't come together as much as it should, and it's just very flawed. The movie is entertaining throughout, but the story definitely holds it back, and the movie is not as funny as it could be. It's definitely got its amusing moments, but not enough funny moments. So, yeah, like, this movie isn't bad. There's enough to enjoy here. Steve Carell does a real good job. I would give this movie a 5 out of 10, but there is one scene at a restaurant between Morgan Freeman and Lauren Graham. And this scene is just so well written, and it's the only time this movie comes close to the magic of Bruce Almighty. Well, they're talking about opportunities and prayers, and I think this scene is legitimately profound, moving, and powerful, and it just really elevates the entire movie as a result. So, despite my issues with the movie, there's still enough here to like, so I'll give Evan Almighty a 6 out of 10. That restaurant scene really is that good. But, Evan Almighty, have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin